Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our National Signing Day event in 2021 for the 2021 21 Build Strong class. My name is Darian Harris, and I'll be kicking things off for you all this evening. I'm Director of Player Engagement here with Michigan State Football, and a little bit about what I do here. I facilitate our overtime program. Our overtime program is our player development platform here, and underneath that umbrella, I focus on onboarding our new players, whether that be freshmen, or transfers coming in, weekly meetings with freshmen called Keeping It Real, which I really enjoy doing week to week, community service events and different opportunities within the East Lansing community and surrounding cities, running our mentorship program where we have our former players and also alumni meet with our players on a regular basis and form a mentor-mentee type of situation. I also run our former player group, president of our MSU FPA Football Players Association, because we're really big on making sure that our former players stay active and involved in our program. All the big career services piece here, whether that's resume building, LinkedIn, getting players set up on LinkedIn, getting their professional photos taken, and then that ends in a career combine that we have every single year, which leads into internships that go into the summer. Financial literacy program. That'll be changing up a little bit this year, and also new this year, our entrepreneurship program where we're going to partner with the Hatch on MSU, which is right on Grand River Avenue for those familiar with campus, and create a 6-week seminar with the entrepreneurship program and with our players as well. It's actually ironic. Today is the, I guess, 10-year anniversary, if you want to call it that, of when I signed here at Michigan State back in 2011 out of Maryland, out of DeMatha Catholic High School, same high school as Antoine Booth, who signed in this class. So it's been 10 years since I signed here. Definitely flew by, but my recruiting process to come here to Michigan is awesome. I couldn't have been better to come to school, get an opportunity to play college football and earn now 2 degrees from Michigan State. Wouldn't trade it for the world. If I could do it all over again, I'd pick Michigan State again 10 out of 10 times. And now I'm excited to get to continue to work with our players, especially this 21 class. So with that, I'll turn it over to our head coach, Mel Tucker, and he'll tell you a little bit about the guys that we have in this class.
Awesome. Thanks, Darian. I appreciate that. Spartan Nation, thank you for joining us this evening for our Spartan Signing Day event. This is always a big day for our program, and I'm excited that our staff will be able to share their thoughts on our recruiting class. I want to start off by saying that I appreciate all that you do for us. We truly couldn't be here doing what we love to do without your support. It means a lot to us, and we want to thank you all. Our recruiting philosophy, we recruit every day. Recruiting is the lifeblood of the organization. I want everyone to know that our staff has worked tirelessly on this class, and we want to thank our staff for all of the hard work that they put into signing these recruits. We call this class 21 Built Strong because we understand the type of football that we need to play here at Michigan State, and we're working very hard to get it to that point through a very process-driven approach. Including today, we've signed 19 players for the 2021 class and welcomed 6 transfers on campus. This class is a national class, nationwide, features players from 15 different states: Alabama, Arizona, Florida, Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, Nevada, Ohio, Tennessee, Texas, Louisiana, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Georgia, South Carolina. And like I said, 6 guys from the great state of Michigan. All of our guys from the 2021 class are tough. They're physical football players. And like I said, in December, there will be some noticeable trends in this class. The most obvious trend being the size of the guys. On the offensive side of the ball, our offensive line averages 6'6", 305 pounds. Our quarterbacks are 6'5", 230. Our running backs average 6 foot, 205. Our tight ends average 6'4", 220. And our wide receivers average 6'4", 188. For defense, our defensive line averages 6'5", 275. Our linebackers average 6'2", 225. Our DBs average 6 feet, 182. And our special teams, our long snapper is a beast. He's 6'3", 220 pounds. I wanted to also make special mention of Keon Coleman. This evening, we're very excited to be able to announce that he signed with us today. Keon is a three-sport athlete. He plays football, basketball, and track. On the football field, he's a two-time All-State performer. And in basketball, he's an All-State honoree. He currently averages 30 points a game in basketball and scored 63 points in a game last month. You can see why he's received several major Power 5 basketball offers. So he'll play basketball for Tom Izzo as well. With the start of the spring semester, we welcome 4 members of the 2021 class to campus. They have already enrolled and are here right now taking classes and working with Coach Novak and his staff in our strength and conditioning program. Those players are tight end Cam Allen from Texas, offensive tackle Ethan Boyd from right here in East Lansing, safety Michael Gravely from Cleveland, Ohio, and quarterback Hamp Fay, also from Texas. We've also added 6 mid-year players, mid-year transfers, and obviously we're going to add more. I think we have upwards of 9 scholarships still available to give out, and hopefully we'll bring some more guys in June, and we can bring guys in all the way up until fall camp. But these mid-year guys that are here right now, quarterback Anthony Russo, running back Kenny Walker, offensive tackle Jared Horst, D-end Drew Jordan, defensive back Kendall Brooks, and a walk-on Spencer Rowland is a defensive back. And so we feel really good about this class, and we're not done yet. We still have, I believe, 9 initials that we can use. And so it just never stops. It's just a relentless, perpetual motion type deal in recruiting to bring the best student athletes here to help us win championships. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to our offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach, Jay Johnson, to talk about some of our new offensive players.
Thanks, Coach Tuck. Appreciate everybody joining us tonight. Certainly a great day, national signing date, and excited about the new crew of Spartans we got rolling. So really excited about that. Kind of want to take a few moments and kind of focus on the offensive skill and what we would call big skill that we brought into the program this year, and really excited that. Start, first of all, with the quarterbacks. Obviously, Coach has touched on a few of these guys already, but Hamp Fay joins us from basically All Saints Episcopal there, which is in the Fort Worth area. Really excited to Hamp. Hamp is might be one of the only guys that actually had a chance to visit. I think he visited on an unofficial visit the day before actually everything shut down with COVID last March, and then ended up committing to us in April time, and really excited. You know, he didn't play much last year as a junior. He had a shoulder injury, so only played his first 3 games. So then he came back this year and was in and out with their team with dealing with, we all were, but really did a good job. I think he's got a huge upside. Long, as Coach said, you know, Hamp is around 6'5", 6'6", very, very athletic. So really fired up to have Hamp a part of our program. And then moving on in the quarterback room, obviously, as we're all trying to do in all our rooms, is create competition. So really, really pleased with the addition of Anthony Russo, transfer from Temple University. His hometown there is in the Philadelphia area, just outside of Philly, and really excited to him. You know, I think the thing that excites me about Anthony is it's so difficult at the quarterback spot, but his experience. And, you know, he started 26 games at Temple. And so that's exciting for him. I think he really throws the ball well. You know, he set records for most completions at QB at Temple. You know, he's in their top 4 passing yards and really has done some tremendous things there. So he's already on campus and going to work and working through things. And so really excited for him and to add to our room and the quarterback position. Then moving on to the running backs. Obviously, a big part of the history here at this university and the brand of football that we want to take on. And the first one is DAVION Prim. Obviously, DAVION from Oak Park right here in Michigan, and really excited. He actually was our first commit of this 21 Built Strong class. So really excited to have DAVION aboard. Again, you know, if you look at his size, good size kid, thick, but also has the ability to make guys miss and do some things. Obviously, you saw his highlights earlier, and so really excited to have him. be with us here locally and keep him in state. And like I said, he kind of got this class rolling. And so excited to have DAVION. Then we have the addition of Ken Walker. Ken Walker's a transfer player for us, comes to us via Wake Forest. Really did some unbelievable things there at Wake and in the ACC. Last year in 2019, he's one of the top rushers in the league. And then, the thing I think when you watch Ken, the big deal for me is, he's built strong. He's got great lower body strength, great change of direction. But I also think he's a home run hitter. And so I think that addition, and again, with competition with the guys we had, is really going to improve our room. And so really excited to have Ken here. He originates from around the Memphis area and then comes to us obviously most recently from Wake. And then we move on to what we call the big skill. And big skill is our tight end group. These guys do a lot for us offensively. We ask them to block, we ask them to pass protect, and obviously we ask them to try to get open and run routes. And so really excited with the addition of Cam Allen coming to us from Forney, North Forney High School there in Texas. Really had a tremendous senior year. I believe he led his team in catches with 38. Again, he's long, he's big, and man, athletic. I mean, he can do things flexed outside. Then he shows some great things inside. So really a huge addition there to Coach Gilmore and what he's trying to do with the tight end group. And so Cam's a great addition and is here on campus as well. And then Coach already stole all my thunder, but Keon Coleman, really excited to have him at the wide receiver spot, coming to us from Opelousas Catholic, which is in Cajun country down there. Now, you would think coming from Cajun country, he would be crawfish, boudin, and probably a little crackling, but actually he loves crab legs. So got to know that from him, and so he's a crab leg guy, but man, can't tell you how fired we up to have him, and the effort that football and basketball put forth to get him to be a Spartan is tremendous. I mean, great length. I mean, you watch him on the basketball floor and football. I mean, throw it up, goes and gets it. So really does a tremendous job. So very excited about the group we have there. As Coach alluded to, all of those except for Keon and DAVION are here working already. And great work ethics. I mean, Hamp and all those guys have really fit in well with Coach Novak and the great things they're doing down there. So excited to have those guys on campus and rolling. So then we'll move on to want to introduce Coach Chris Kapilovic. Coach Cap, I mean, he's got as many accolades as the others. I mean, first and foremost, obviously our assistant head coach, and then our offensive line coach and run game coordinator. Coach Cap and I go way back, and really excited to get to work with him every day, and what he brings to the program is awesome, and what he's doing with those guys up front is phenomenal. And you've already seen changes, and we'll continue to work every day to keep getting better, and so really excited to have Cap, and so he's going to take you with the next group.
Appreciate that, Jay. I'm extremely excited to talk about this group that is joining us here. It's a great offensive line class. We were able to add not only quantity, but quality. And as Coach talked about with size, we definitely wanted to get bigger, and we've definitely accomplished that, which has made our strength coaches very excited to be able to get these guys in here and get them going. The first young man I want to talk about is Brandon Baldwin. Brandon Baldwin, he's a, in-state guy out of Southfield. He's coming up, he was a big basketball guy, was really a good basketball player, and felt like that was going to be the direction he was going in, extremely athletic. And then as time went on, he figured out that he could probably have opportunity to make a little more money in football. So he changed his path and went to Independence Community College. And that's where he's really developing into a great football player. He's there this spring, and he will join us at the end of May. He was one of the top 50 recruits out of all the junior colleges in America. Again, one of those long athletic tackles that are a premium. We were able to get on him and keep him in state and fought off the likes of Florida State and people like that. So extremely excited to have him with us. The next young man I want to talk about is Ethan Boyd. Ethan Boyd is a local product right here out of East Lansing. Interesting. Ethan Boyd is the only prospect that I actually got to see in person that we were able to recruit and sign. He was here, as a matter of fact, I believe it was March 12th, the morning of the day that we shut everything down. So he got in right under the wire, and we got a chance to spend some time with him. When he showed up, I have this written down, March 12th, he was 6'6", 269 pounds. You fast forward to February 1st, he's 6'7", 320. So he is definitely developed and put some good weight on. It'll be even better when he's with our strength staff. They had a crazy year this year where they played, they stopped, they played, they stopped, and they went deep into the playoffs, and just really happy to have him here with us. So, again, another really good prospect to have and somebody to work with. I think he's going to be a great player down the line. The next young man is Jarrett Horst. Jarrett Horst is a transfer. He's originally from Wisconsin. He was 6'6", 315 the other day. He went from Ellsworth to Arkansas State. He's kind of one of those guys you say is a late bloomer. So, he went to Ellsworth to get himself going, then he went to Arkansas State and really established himself as a great player. He was an Outland Trophy watch list guy. He was an all-conference player for Arkansas State. And, he's a guy that once he decided there was a coaching change and he decided he wanted to go ahead and get in the portal, almost immediately the offers came rolling in. The likes of the University of Texas and people like that. We were able to get on him that next morning. We recruited him heavily day and night. Oklahoma was a team that came in on him and actually tried twice even after he committed, and him and his family stayed strong with us. We're really excited about him. If you get a chance, pull up his highlight film. It's on his Twitter page or YouTube, and you can see this kid plays with intensity. I mean, he tries to finish. I mean, he's got that edge to him that we like. And, again, getting those experienced tackles on the edge that can add competition to our room is a premium. The next young man I want to talk about is Gino Vandermark. Gino's out of Jersey, St. Joe's, one of the best football leagues in the country. That private school league they're in produces some of the best players and some of the best teams in the country. I've recruited kids out of there before, and when you get those kids, those guys have been coached well. His offensive line coach is a tremendous coach, so they come in and they're ready to go. And they understand hard work and toughness. He was an all-state guy. He was the number one offensive lineman in the state of New Jersey. He was in the top 20 of all tackles in the country. So I'm really excited to have him. Interesting fact, his high school coach got hired by Rutgers, and so everybody just assumed that that's where he would go. And, luckily we were able to really establish a relationship the best we could without meeting him in person and being able to get him to believe in what we're doing here and join us. So, again, I'm excited to have Gino here with us. The next young man is Kevin Wigginton. Kevin Wigginton's out of New Jersey at the Hun School. Okay, and again, it's one of the finest schools in the country. A very intelligent young man, really transformed his body. If you look at him from pictures from a year ago to now, it's amazing. I mean, just the athleticism he's added. He has really good feet. Another guy that plays with unbelievable intensity and finish. Really love what he brings to the table. He may be also the top recruiter of the whole group, or maybe the staff. That guy was relentless just from recruiting other players. He believes and bleeds green and white already. He's excited to be here. His family is thrilled for him to be here, and he's going to be a great addition. Another one of those guys is kind of a swing guy. He can play guard or tackle. So you take this group. We had a great size. We added athleticism. But number one, we added a bunch of guys that love the game. They embrace the grind, and they're going to come in here and do a great job for us. So, again, appreciate the time and glad I was able to share that with you guys. And I will pass it off, I believe, to Coach Tucker.
Thanks, Coach Cap. Coach Cap has just been recently named our assistant head coach. He's already our run game coordinator. He's my right-hand man and does an outstanding job. His offensive line is called the Juice Squad, so you can follow him on social media. He's quite the O-line coach, and he's super athletic as well. You can tell by his build. I can't wait till we open back up. You guys can come watch practice, see Coach Cap go to work, and that's my guy. Before we go on to the next group of signees, I would like to introduce Lisa Benchaim. Lisa is our director of on-campus recruiting, and I wanted to give her an opportunity to fill you in on what her role is and how she manages our recruiting process. So, Lisa, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Coach Tucker. It is an honor. I just first want to bring recognition because not only is today National Signing Day, but today is National Girls and Women in Sports Day. So I'm just very thankful to be with the staff, with Coach Tucker and elite coaches who believe in us. So we're just grateful for this opportunity. I first also want to just name the village who just helps us to make everything operate and work. I think it is super important that we have this recognition because I alone could not have done any of this. So I just want to recognize Lauren McCree, Matthew Pick, Kelly Magana, Sean Levy, Cole Brown, Andrew Rogers, David Mobis, our excellent and outstanding creative team, the best in the business, I feel, Derek Markell, Blaze Watson, Paul Morissette, and Austin Flynn. So during this 2020 year, obviously very challenging with COVID, we weren't able to have in-person visits. So what does that mean? That means that we had to really be on top of our feet and just get ahead of everything that was going to come our way. With a lot of these prospects not being able to come and visit, we had to get very creative. And so we're just super grateful that Coach Tucker and the coaches just gave us the freedom to really express our creativity. Through this, we had a lot of virtual visits, a lot of graphics being sent, and we just really tried to connect with the recruits on how they could just experience Michigan State with actually being on campus. I think we did an excellent job, obviously signed a lot of different guys. And one quick story that I will share is that during the first week that we were here, I'll never forget it because it was about a week before everything had shut down. That weekend, we had, I would say, some of our top guys on the board come to visit us. And I'll just never forget not being really familiar with the area, not knowing where I was going, but being so confident just to kind of direct them and guide them. And along with the names I had mentioned, we just all collectively together figured it out and really was able to embrace that moment. I remember Hamp Fay coming onto campus with his mom and his sister and just being able to kind of show him around and being super confident and knowing that I knew about Michigan State. I knew what this had to offer and just believing in the vision. Another couple of things that was really interesting is during the summer, a lot of these guys wanted to come visit campus, and it was extremely hard to not want to be able to be with them. Of course, NCAA did not allow us to go through with that. It was, obviously a continued dead period, but it was super interesting to, again, just be creative and figure out what it is that we could do and just really enhance that process for them. So whether it was just us stopping and when they were on campus, being on FaceTime with them, I felt like personally it was a tease because not having them here on campus, or excuse me, them being here on campus and not being able to be with them was something that was, driving us crazy because we wanted to be with them and show them around and really allow them to see and experience Michigan State the right way. I do feel as though that once we are able to kick off visits, I am very faithful and hopeful for that in the future, that I truly believe with our coaching staff, with Coach Tucker, that we will have great visits. I truly believe, again, that what the Big Ten has to offer, Michigan State, learning about the history and the culture and everything that goes on here is just truly inspiring to know that we have what it takes to recruit an elite class. I think through this challenging process, we were still able to bring a lot of great prospects, and getting to know them throughout this entire process has been just a pleasure. Seeing these mid-years come in, we got to move them in several weeks ago, and that was like the highlight of my entire year. I couldn't tell you how excited we all were to just see them and meet some of them for the first time. I remember Cam's mom coming in. I'm like, "Hi, Miss Nikita. It's very nice to meet you finally." And, usually it's during an official visit, but for this, it was the first time for many of us. Again, so just a big tribute to our entire staff, recruiting staff, the coaches for believing in us, allowing us to have the freedom to really just express ourselves and find ways to connect with these recruits. It is not over, and we're continuing to do these virtual visits now with the 22s on the clock. And I truly do think that they will have the chance to come visit in the future. But for the meantime, we're back to virtual visits, and we're going to do everything that we can in our power. Also, just want to recognize other people on the staff that has been able to help us recruit. Darian Harris, obviously being a alum here, playing linebacker, winning a Rose Bowl, everything that goes into it. He's been a fantastic part of that recruiting process, as well as Mandy and Antoine and just Miss Sally and Tam. And now with our nutritionist here, Amber, who is going to, I think, do fantastic things with the program. I can't tell you how important that'll be to the program, and especially to these recruits to know that we have a HUD football dietitian who is going to take all the different tactics into place and making sure that they can truly thrive. So it's definitely something that, you know, we hope in the future, again, that we can have these on-campus visits and just continue to have this process. As Coach Tucker says, we will recruit every day. We have a relentless culture. We are super grateful to have a lot of different people who believe in us. We're super grateful that these recruits are allowing us to just have an ear for a lot of them who haven't been able to visit campus. And it's just been an amazing experience through and through, learning what Michigan State has to offer, seeing, again, the history. It's Black History Month, so just learning more about Duffy Daugherty and just all those who paved a way into just the integration of Black athletes here has been amazing to learn about, and just truly knowing Spartan Nation, I think, is truly remarkable. I think Spartan Nation is passionate, and that's what I love about them. Coming here, again, having experience in the American Athletic Conference and then coming from Pac-12, I don't think that you can find more diehard, passionate fans in the Big Ten, truly. Again, everyone has been amazing, and we are super, again, just, I think, grateful. I just can't express how much gratitude I have for the staff and everything that we put into this. Keon today was just like ice cream on top. He is a extremely humble person. You know, he is a dynamic athlete, of course, and don't want to take away from his abilities, but having the opportunity to recruit him through and through, and knowing how humble he's been, I was very excited to know that he's going to be a Spartan Dog. I'm looking forward to having the rest of our signees come in the summer and greeting them with their families and meeting them for the first time this summer. I'm hoping that things will get a little bit better, and so we can welcome them in, you know, an exciting way. But regardless, I'm super excited for all that has to come. Obviously, we have a lot of ground to gain, and I truly think that we will be able to do that. We're going to be in the portal hard, and these visits will not stop. We have some tomorrow. We have some through the weekend and the following weeks. Whatever it takes, it's going to get done. So super grateful for everybody being on this. I have hopes that we can meet in the future. If you ever see me on the sideline, just wave. I'll just wave back. Again, thankful for everybody being on tonight. And I think I have the pleasure of introducing our defensive coordinator, Coach Hazelton, who's one of my favorite people on the staff. He is a dynamic recruiter, and he is just a big family man, which I admire and love about him. And I am super excited to introduce Coach Hazelton.
Yeah, thanks, Lisa. You know, we appreciate everything you do for us. You know, you guys do a great job connecting in your office, and did a great job getting this class really around campus without getting them. And that was an awesome thing to do. Secondly, I'd like to thank everyone on the call for your support. We're really excited to actually see people in the stands and run around and cheering and all that kind of stuff. So we're excited about that. As a defensive staff, you know, this class has been fun putting it together and being able to choose some of the guys that we saw, and we're excited to see how it works out and see what they do when they get on the field. But first, like Coach Johnson, we got a couple different areas I'm going to hit. We're going to start up front like you always should with the defensive line, the pass rushers, all those things in Coach Burton's world. And he did a great job recruiting these guys. The first one up is Derek Harmon. He's an in-state guy from Loyola High School in Detroit, Michigan. He's 6'6", 350 pounds. This dude's a big athletic cat, man. He has tremendous feet for a big man. He locks people out. I think you saw on the highlight tape, you see how explosive he can be and throwing guys around and doing those things. So we're really excited about this guy. He was a two-time All-State football player. Started all 4 years on his football team on both sides of the line. So really, really excited about having a big dude who can play, you know, at nose and use up gaps and throw guys around and hold the point and just be a physical presence for us up there in the front. The second guy, moving on to a transfer, is Drew Jordan. He's a Duke transfer. He's originally from around Atlanta. He's 6'3", 260 pounds. We're looking for him to really come in. He's a grad transfer that's going to be in here for 1 year, and looking for him to provide some immediate playing time for us, you know, help us with some pass rush stuff and everything up front. He's on campus now, like Coach said. He fits in great with the team already. He's been learning and meeting extra and going through the going through the playbook with some of the guys who are older in the room and just really fitting and doing a great job. When he was at Duke, he was the guy who had 21 starts at Duke, had 10 sacks, over 100 tackles, 15 tackles for losses, and things like that. Just the playing experience that he's going to bring to us. Is really excited to have another guy like that in the room. You know, we have some guys coming back who have experience and being able to take some other things from different places, and that it'll be great. And he was a 4-star player out of high school. Fun fact, he actually played Little League football with Connor Haywood on the team right now. So they knew each other for a long time and trying to pile up there, and it'll be great to have him. Next up is an edge guy for sure. His name is Alex Akelu. He's from Pearl Cone High School in Nashville, Tennessee. This dude's he's 6'6", 215, and long, and can run and can bend and do all those things. So, you know, he's a guy that we're really excited about just because of his straight explosive off the ball. He can bend, he can turn an edge, he can do all those things. You know, he can change direction. I think on the play that you guys saw, he was the guy that really bounced back and forth and played the quarterback and then took off and ran. It was great to see him. He was the number 1 rated defensive end in the state of Tennessee by Rivals. You know, he led his team to a state semifinal, deal. He comes from a great family, and they're really cool to get to know both of his older brothers and sisters. They had a chance to go to college and not have to pay because of academics. So he's a great kid. He's an all around good person. Exciting things watching him. You not only see him do that stuff on the football field, where he can bend and change direction and lean and throw moves and do all that kind of stuff pass rush wise, but he was as a hooper, man. This guy would go out and dunk all over the place and move around, and just seeing him run around on the basketball court was a great thing as we went through the recruiting process. The next one up, another Michigan guy, Tyson Watson. Tyson is 6'6", 275. From Warren Mott High School in Roseville. He's a dude that has extremely long levers. You saw on the tape, he was slanting, he went and made a play and did some things there. But his leverage, just the leverage that he plays with, man, he can lock some guys out. And we're really excited about him having the ability to get off the ball, control blocks in front of him, use his levers, be able to hold his gap and maybe two gap some things. He's a guy that gets tremendous pocket push on the pass. And you get a 6'6" guy putting his hand up in the air, man. It's a great thing that just getting in the quarterback's face and having that ability to use some of those big guys, with him and Derek together, inside. They're going to provide tremendous push, tremendous everything, and getting the ball up and make some of those quarterbacks work to throw the ball over the middle of the field. He's got a great upside, and he helped Warren Mott to a district title and go to the regional finals this year, we're really excited about those guys up front. I think it adds some dynamic guys, some big dudes, some physical play that'll help us stop the run. And then you get some guys on the edge too that can rush. So we're excited about that group. I know that Coach Els in a minute is going to talk about our linebackers. So we're going to move on to Coach Barnett and Coach Tillman's area. Excited about both those guys, but we're going to move on to DBs. The first one up, Charles Brantley. He goes by Chuck. He's 6 foot 160. I know 160 seems small, but we saw that play where he came up, as a cover 2 corner and went and smoked the dude and scooped up the ball. He's from Venice High School in Sarasota, Florida. The cool thing about this dude, he can close. He can close, he can strike, he can put his foot in the ground and go. He's a guy that loves contact and really searches for it when he plays. And as he gets bigger and stronger, he's even going to strike people more. And he's really the classic kind of corner that you look for. Coach Barnett always talks about not having a cover corner, but having a complete corner, guy that can run through contact and he'll strike you and he'll set an edge and be able to cover a guy man to man too. So we're excited about him. He was a 4-star recruit by Rivals. This guy had 20 interceptions in his career in high school. So, he's a guy that can go attack the ball, who can go attack the thing. This guy's going to be exciting to watch, and we're excited to get him in here. Actually, fun fact about him, Herb Haygood is his uncle. And I think that, a lot of people on the call knew he is, and me and Coach Barnett were watching a clip of him today, just seeing how fast he is catching a slant against Notre Dame and taking off and stuff like that. And Chuck's got a little bit of that in him, so we're excited about that. The next guy up in the class, named Antoine Booth. He's 5'11", 175. Like Darian said, he comes from a great high school program in Maryland. He's a guy that we're hoping to get a little bit of pipeline from there. Home of Darian Harris, and we've had some great players out of there in the past, and hopefully we can continue on with him. He had a deal this year. Maryland didn't play high school football, so his senior season got pushed back and it's canceled due to COVID and all those kind of things. But even as a junior, this guy, you can see him. He can cover. He can do all those things. He's a guy that's really cool, man. That's one of the best things about him is you would see him in positions and they'd throw the ball up, and whether he's in great position and dominant position or not, he was just cool and go up and get the ball out and doesn't panic. That's a hard thing to do, especially if you're behind or you're not in great position, and the guy comes back and you can just poke the ball out and work on those things. So we're really excited about him. Cool thing is he comes from great stock. His dad was an All-American safety in college and was drafted by the Panthers, and we're hoping to get some of that too with those guys in the back end. The next one up, Kendall Brooks would be our first transfer DB of this class. He's 6 foot, 200 pounds. He is from North Greenville University. He's originally from South Carolina. The exciting thing about him is just watching him move on the field. He's a guy that played some safety. He played in the box, played out of the box. He showed good underneath dropping skills where he could plant and break. He showed a good just good qualities of, hey, I can set up, plant, I can go and burst, and I can make plays in the open field, and I can run through contact, and I understand my leverage, and I understand getting on course and doing all those things. And he's had a chance to play in college. He's got the ability that if we need to put him in the box, he's got enough instincts and fit that he can see where the ball is going to be and make some things right and erase some gaps. And so we're really excited about his ability to play the run and the pass. His time there, he had 78 tackles, had a couple PBUs, and got a couple fumble recoveries, those things like that. He's actually here now, and I know he's working out with the guys and doing a great job, and they're really getting a chance to know him, and it's great. He's since he is a transfer, he does live with Drew Jordan and a couple of our guys on campus, so they're really fitting in well and starting to get to the lay of the land and learning the defense, and so we're excited about what they're going to bring this spring and fall. Next guy up is Michael Gravely. He's a 6 foot 195 pound DB safety from Glenville High School in Cleveland, Ohio. He's a guy that's he's smooth. The best thing about him is just how smooth he is. He can transition. He doesn't like he's working, because he can run. He has the ability to put his foot in the ground and go. So you see guys like that every once in a while that have that ability to be able to move around and burst, and it looks like they're doing it effortlessly, and we like that. We truly feel he's one of the best DBs in the state of Ohio, and we're very excited about getting him. He was first team All-State. He actually was coached by Coach Ginn, who has a great relationship with Coach Tucker and Coach Barnett, and has been around a long time. And they do a great job in Cleveland, and they know those guys there, and it was good to get him up here. He's one of the guys that Coach Tucker mentioned he's already on campus. I think he's going through that freshman thing where class and this, but he's doing a good job, and we're excited about him, and he's excited to be here, and like those other guys like KB and some of those dudes, they're working through it and saying, hey, listen, this is outstanding, and what they're bringing already in competition is going to help us all get better. The next guy up, Stephon Johnson. Stephon's a 6 foot, 170 pound corner, also from Venice High School in Sarasota, Florida. He's teammates with Chuck Brantley. When we first started recruiting those guys, they used to say that they were cousins and stuff like that because they're so tight, and had to figure all that stuff out. But they're a great couple kids. The biggest thing about him is when you watch him, the clip that we saw on the highlight tape when we started was him at quarterback, and that's really what he is. Pure athlete, as you start to look through and think about him. He's a guy that played wide receiver, he played quarterback, he played DB. In one game last year, they moved him over to quarterback and played him a little bit more there. And it was one of those things, is a playoff game in the state of Florida, and he ran for 387 yards and had 5 touchdowns in a playoff game from quarterback. So he has some ability to run. He's a long kid that can move around and transition. Played a lot of corner this year too, and go up and really saw the ability to strike in there too. So we're excited about both those guys as we work into having keep going length and size at corner and complete guys that can play the run and the pass. Excuse me. Next one is going to be AJ Kirk from Archbishop Hoban High School in Columbus, Ohio. He's a 6'1", 190 safety. Cool thing about him is his ability to track the ball. There's guys and there's skills as you watch people as they go through, just the ability to say, listen, the ball's going inside out. I understand that guy's speed. I understand my speed. And he can track a guy from inside out and run through a dude. So that's an exciting piece right there, is when you got a guy who can feel that and understands his own body and everyone else that he's playing and just understands how to track the ball and run through contact and do all those kind of things. He was an all-state player in the state of Ohio as well, led his team to a state championship. He's one of the top 25 safeties in America, ranked by ESPN. I mean, he has some really great qualities. The cool thing is he's a younger brother of Mike Doss, who's a guy that, Coach Tucker coached when he was at Ohio State, and that relationship really helped us and working through that. But we're excited about this young man coming here and making a name for himself and doing the things that he did in high school, just being able to go make plays in space and do all that kind of stuff. And last but not least is a young man Coach mentioned earlier, Spencer Rowland. He's a 6 foot, 180-pound corner. He's actually from Wheaton College. He was a first team AP Division III All-American. He's actually coming here to get his master's, and he's walking on the football team in health, and he's really working towards things. He's a young man that, he's got a great personality and stuff like that, but he's got diabetes. He's a type 1 diabetic, and he really wants to bring awareness to get people with diabetes having a chance to do some things. He was a player of the week in his league. He's first team all region. He's just a really good all around athlete that shows toughness and production. He can play man and zone, and he's been out there with the guys too. So we have some really exciting pieces in the back end, along with Drew Jordan that are already here, and we're excited about developing those guys and letting them learn the package and getting around our guys and doing all those things to make us better and start preparing us for everything. So that's the front end and the back end. I'm going to turn it over to Coach Els. Ross Els is our special teams coordinator and linebacker coach, and he's going to talk about the linebackers and the special teams guys. But I wanted to say thank you, everybody, for your time and everything that you guys do for us. Go Green.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it. Appreciate everything that you do. Thank you, guys. I'm the last coach here before we get into back to Coach Tucker. So I appreciate your patience on making it through here. I know it's an interesting day for all of us. We as coaches obviously are very excited. With the transfer portal, it's a little bit different now because recruiting never ends. There is no signing date even for this class. So like Coach said, we got 9 more guys to go, and there's going to be more. Recruiting is crazy. And before we get to the individual guys, let me share you what I'm talking about with the 2 linebackers that we signed. I mean, you got one guy from Alabama, the other one from American Samoa. You got one guy that's 6'3", the other guy's 6'1". One guy was heavily recruited, committed to a Power 5 school. The other guy was, in our opinion, overlooked. You got a guy that we had been recruiting, go into more detail, for over a year. You got another guy that we recruited for about 2 weeks. So I don't know quite, I've been doing this for a long time, but I don't know quite the secret to recruiting. All I know is this: if you recruit good players that are good people, that are from great families, you can make anything happen. And we're really excited about these 2 guys. Let's get to them right now. Let's start with the first one from Alabama, Carson Castile. Now, Carson is a guy that we identified kind of late in the recruiting process, but he's a great sized kid. It lists him there at 6'3", 220. I would say that's about right from what we can tell. Never seen him in person. He's never been here. He's never seen us, but he's talked to us a bunch. We were able to sell this place, which is an easy sell for us. What we like about Carson, he's a very athletic, tall linebacker, which obviously that we need. He's also very, very physical. And the good thing about Carson is he is one of the best wrestlers in his area. And with all the hand-to-hand combat that we have to do at linebacker, you need guys that can do that. You need guys that can get off blocks and get rid of people and get over and make tackles. And that's what Carson's able to do. We're very excited to have Carson part of our deal. The other one is Ma Naoteote. Say that name a few times. Now, Ma is, again, completely different end of the spectrum. We had been recruiting Ma when Coach Tucker and myself were at Colorado. So this has been well over a year since we've been trying to get this kid part of our program. He originally was from American Samoa. His family moved to Hawaii. Then his family moved to Nevada. He went to IMG Academy in Florida for a while. He went up to high school in California, and now he's at Bishop Gorman High School in Nevada. The problem is Nevada is not playing high school football, so he wasn't able to finish his senior year at all. Ma was committed to USC for quite a while. His brother played for USC until he just left and went into the portal. So Ma is a guy that that we've been working awful hard on. We really like him. I mean, he's listed as one of the top 10 linebackers in the country, according to Rivals. Who knows if that's true? We'll see when he shows up, but we're excited to have Ma a part of it. Again, fantastic family. And then the third guy that I want to talk about, because we deal with special teams here, is Hank Pepper. Hank is a long snapper from Chandler High School in Arizona. Kenny Spencer is our special team intern, and Kenny's job is to find players that can play. When he gave us the film on Hank Pepper, the first thing we saw was he's a heck of a defensive player. He's a heck of a linebacker. Then we watched him long snap. My goodness, does this kid have velocity and accuracy? The great thing about Hank, not only is he a great long snapper, but he was also the defensive player of the year in the largest high school classification in the state of Arizona, where Chandler High School, what he plays for, won the state championship. So this guy is a guy that's able to do a lot of things for us. He's able to get the ball back there quicker than what we've had. He's very, very accurate, but he's also able to get down there in coverage. So we're excited to see Hank and see what he can do for us. So those are the three guys that I wanted to present to you today. Again, we really appreciate everything that you've done. This is a crazy year with COVID, and it's not going to change very quickly, but hopefully we'll all get vaccinated and get this taken care of. But without further ado, back to Mel Tucker and to finish this thing up. Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, thanks, Coach Els. You can go home now, man. You guys can go home and chill out. We'll get back at it tomorrow morning. But I really want to thank our coaches. Our staff does a tremendous job. They work extremely hard. You can tell that they have great personality. The kids love them. We work well together. Very unselfish group. All about doing what's best for the team. All about winning. Just considering everything that has transpired this past year, dealing with COVID, new staff, getting to know the players. I think our staff has done a tremendous job and have recruited every day. And some of these recruiting stories of how we got these guys, and without them being able to visit, and without us being able to visit them, is just incredible. And we're not done yet. So I'm very excited that you were able to meet Jay and Cap and Scotty and Ross and Lisa, and our whole staff. We have about 50 staff here, with the coaches, the recruiting staff, the personnel staff, quality control, grad assistants, analysts. We've got a solid crew here with the equipment and strength and conditioning. Everyone's on the same page, and I'm very blessed to have the staff. Guys are working hard right now in our out-of-season conditioning program. We're calling it the Spartan training program with Coach Novak and his staff. And we're looking to gain ground. That's what it's all about. I mean, there's no doubt about it. We're behind. We're playing catch up, and so we're going to do that with recruiting. And then I really believe that your team is built in the weight room. That's where it starts. The foundation of our football team is best condition, technique and fundamentals, smart, fast, and physical, and all that starts right now in the out of season, with the training in the weight room. That's where your mental and physical toughness comes from. Your competitive nature, the ability to strain, your grit, your determination, your team chemistry, the culture of accountability, attention to detail, sense of urgency. All of that is promoted in the weight room. And so our guys are doing a tremendous job there. We're going to make gains. We just hired a full-time dietitian for football only, Amber. She's already very impressed with how eager our guys are to transform their bodies and get bigger, stronger, and faster through nutrition. So we're making tremendous strides there. Also want to thank our medical staff. Sally, our head trainer, Dr. Kovan, they continue to do a great job for us to help keep us safe, and we're able to still work out every day. Work with our players. We're still testing. I believe we're testing about 6 days a week, following all of the protocols. Wearing masks, socially distancing, everything that we have to do. And in this season, when we weren't able to play, it wasn't because of anything that we had done wrong. We were always ready to go. We didn't lose anyone during the season to COVID, and we're working through it right now. So my hat goes off to our medical staff, and they're allowing us to get ready for spring practice, which we didn't have a year ago, and we plan on having a very very tough and physical spring practice. We'll have 8 weeks of strength and conditioning leading up to those 15 spring workouts, and then we'll go into our summer program before fall camp. And so this is a great time of year. I call it the out of season, not the off season, because nowadays there is no off season. You got the in season, you got the out of season. This is it's a year round. It's a year round deal with the players and the training, and especially with the recruiting. We believe in recruiting every day. So we're working extremely hard to make Spartan Nation proud. You deserve a winner. We know what you want, and we're here to deliver that. And so I really appreciate you guys taking the time and investing this time with us this evening. And with that, I want to wish you a great rest of your evening, and go green. We'll see you.